Hi, this is Rob from B&H, and today we're going to look at the TA-1VP from Tascam.
Hi, I'm Rob from B&H, and in this video, we're going to check out the TA-1VP vocal processor from Tascam. Tascam is partnered with Antares, the makers of the popular auto-tune software, to deliver an all-in-one vocal processing solution. In addition to auto-tune pitch correction, the TA-1VP offers mic and tube modeling, compression, gating, de-essing, EQ, and more in one easy-to-use box that lends itself well to both studio and live applications. Let's take a closer look. The TA-1VP is basically divided into 6 sections with distinctive functions. Let's start with the master section, where we can set global parameters for the box. Probably the simplest way of getting started is to choose one of the 35 different presets on board. The presets include settings for several different vocal styles, as well as instrument processing options to choose from. Dialing up a preset, say number 1, male voice, calls up settings for the mic modeler, compressor, and EQ. The auto-tune and de-esser are off in this preset, but engaging them is as easy as hitting the on button. The presets are nice, especially if you're new to recording and maybe you're not quite sure what settings you should have on the compressor or EQ. Dialing up different presets and looking at the settings and hearing how they alter the sound can be really helpful. Beyond the presets, there are additional pages in the master section for level trim, choosing the type of source material, turning on the phantom power for a microphone, and more. Not exactly in the master section, but beside the phantom power indicator light, is a 20 dB pad you can quickly engage on the mic input, which is conveniently placed right here on the front. In addition to the mic input, there's an additional line input on the back. Moving on to the first real processing section, we get to the mic modeling section. This section uses Antares' patented processing to simulate the characteristics of certain microphones. You simply dial in the microphone you're using, then you dial in the mic you want it to sound like. Microphone modeling has its limitations. There's simply no box out there that will make your vocals sound exactly like they were recorded using a rare vintage microphone. But some of these simulations can add some interesting character. Let's listen to a couple of examples. Now keep in mind it's rather subtle, so you might want to listen on headphones. Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars again and again. Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars again and again. Also in this section are pages that allow you to counteract low-cut filters and to simulate the proximity effect, which simply refers to the additional low end you get when you record sound close to the mic capsule. You can also dial in the amount of simulated tube effect desired to give your vocals a warmer sound. The Love Boat, soon we'll be making another run. The next section on the TA-1VP is a feature that a lot of users are going to be interested in, the built-in auto-tune pitch correction from Antares. Now, unlike the software plugin, which offers 2 correction modes, auto and graph, the TA-1VP doesn't feature the graph mode, so your control over the auto-tune functions is substantially more limited. You've only got 2 basic parameters to play with. First is the scale, where you tell the TA-1VP what key to tune the material to. There are 35 possible scales to choose from here. The other setting you'll concern yourself with here is the speed with which auto-tune correction takes place. The default setting is 7, and the manual indicates that settings between 6 and 10 are typical. The lower the number, the faster the pitch correction, so if you're seeking the auto-tune robot effect, dial in 0. Be aware, however, that the limited control you have over the auto-tune functions means that the TA-1VP doesn't create that auto-tune robot voice effect as effectively as you may be hoping. You may have surmised that from my little auto-tune moment at the beginning of this video. If you're looking for traditional pitch correction, however, the TA-1VP does this quite well. The next couple of sections are fairly standard. The TA-1VP has a combined compressor and gate section. The compressor allows you to even out the volume of your audio material, while the gate can be used to reduce background noise in your recordings. All the standard controls are present, including ratio, threshold, attack, release, and knee. Let's listen to how de-essing sounds in the TA-1VP. I'm going to say a nonsensical phrase with a lot of S sounds without any de-essing. She said soon your senses will see a siesta and senselessness stops. Now let's listen to the same phrase with the TA-1VP's de-esser engaged. She said soon your senses will see a siesta and senselessness stops. Our last section on the TA-1VP is the EQ output section. Here you get a 2-band EQ switchable between low shelf, high shelf, peaking, notch, bandpass, and high pass and low pass filters switchable between 6 and 12 dB per octave. Pretty basic stuff, but quite useful nonetheless. One interesting thing here is the double tracking option. With this, the TA-1VP creates the effect of a second performance of your source material that is similar but not exactly the same and plays in unison with the original. So that pretty much covers it for the TA-1VP. Tascam has combined the vocal dynamics processing you'd want in a channel strip with Antares' auto-tune and mic modeling features in one simple, easy-to-use rack-mountable device. While it doesn't offer all the features you get in the full versions of the Antares auto-tune and mic modeling software, it does a nice job of tuning material to scales and does offer several types of microphone modeling options to choose from. In addition, the onboard compressor, gate, de-esser, and EQ bring added value to the unit. For more information on the Tascam TA-1VP vocal processor or any of our other vocal processors and outboard gear, visit us online, give us a call, or stop by our New York City Superstore. Thanks for watching.